Hello everybody, peace, welcome to another episode, and today I'm going to be talking to those of you who feel like you are going through a really hard time right now. And someone actually reached out to me a few weeks back and they told me that they were going through something very difficult and they really needed to just hear a message of affirmation, of validation, of empathy and all of these things. And that's what I hope to offer you today and give you some resources and things that can help you through this difficult time that you are specifically going through right now, or you will go through, or you have been through recently.
From beautiful seas to flourishing legacies.
We all have these days. Some of these days are triggered by things that we are going through in our lives. They might be triggered through some hardships that we are going through, maybe a health diagnosis, maybe a loss of wealth in somehow, maybe some other kind of trial, maybe it is a flashback that you are in through something that you have been through when you were younger or older, and it is just playing and you feel like you're in this feeling, and the feeling is so painful. And it is those days that you feel painful. And sometimes that pain can show in many different ways. And one of the ways that it shows through is in feeling sadness. A feeling of sadness that so many of us do not want to feel. Because whenever we do tell someone about this, we are told that, oh, you're depressed. Maybe you're going through something. Maybe, well, yes, we are going through something, right? But it's not always a clinical depression. Sometimes there are feelings we just go through. We wonder about the purpose of life. We wonder about the pain and the past. We don't think too much about the future. We're thinking about all the things that we wish things could be like. We forget that we can hope. We feel helpless. We feel hopeless. And we all have these days. We all have these days. And they come and they go, and they come and they go. Now, I want to offer you a resource throughout these days because it's extremely difficult to be grateful, because sometimes we'll tell people again about these days that we're going through and they'll say things like, oh, be grateful. You have everything. You have this, you have that, you have this, you have that. And sometimes it's hard to get into the feeling of gratitude. But gratitude is the one thing which can take us out of these things. And we cannot just will ourselves to feel it, but we can do something which is so powerful, and that is through something called glimmers. Now, the term glimmers is something that has been termed by Deb Dana. She is someone who is in the polyvagal theory world, and I believe it could be also by Stephen Porges. But anyway, the point is that they termed this thing called glimmers. Glimmers are these small things, which I like to call kisses or wins. You can give your own name to it, whatever you personally identify with. These are small things around you that make you feel a little bit better. Just a small, tiny bit better. It doesn't have to be amazing. You don't have to feel the greatest kind of fullness inside of yourself. It doesn't diminish the feelings in any way, but it helps you to hold on to these little tiny anchors. These glimmers can be so many things. They can be your own children. The wonky walk of your 3-year-old who's a little clumsy, but it's adorable. The way they lisp when they speak because they can't pronounce the words properly and you know it's not going to last. That's a little glimmer. It makes you smile, right? Gives you a little feeling of lightness. Just a tiny, tiny little feeling of lightness. Another glimmer might be the smell of coffee in the morning and just smelling it and feeling like, you're not happy. You're not excited. Your state has not changed completely. But it's giving you a little bit of like a little bit of a breath, you know? And then there might be other glimmers as well. The sun on your skin, the feeling of something under your hands, a reminder of a picture from a long time ago, a reminder of a video that made you laugh one time. Now, I want to highlight that these things, these glimmers, are glimmers. They are little tiny, tiny things that you see here and there. And these are by no means things that we are distracting ourselves with. They are not things that we are becoming so immersed in that it becomes another coping mechanism and another blinder, honestly, from the feeling of sadness that we're feeling, which I really believe is necessary to feel sometimes to remind ourselves of why we are here in the first place. Because in that insight comes this, in that feeling of sadness comes a certain kind of insight sometimes. And these glimmers, they offer you just enough to help you to cope through it, so you don't fall any deeper into this feeling that you are going through, and then you don't reach, for example, something called abandonment melanage, which is a mix of fear, shame, and depression, right? And that's the feeling where at its extreme you can feel like you just want to end things, right? And these little glimmers allow you to kind of reach out a little bit from the pit, from the darkness, from the hopelessness, from the helplessness. And it's not doing anything except just reaching out a little bit, and it's helping your nervous system calm down just a little bit, just a little bit more, just a little bit more. And then as the days progress, or even the day progresses for some of us, because the more we begin to learn to regulate our emotions and our nervous system, and regulate our ways of thinking as well, then what happens is these flashbacks, these moments of pain, they don't last as long, because these glimmers are more accessible to us. So you might get to a stage in your life where the flashback or whatever it is that you're feeling kind of like goes after maybe a day, and then but if you're not at that stage, then it might last a few days, and you have these little glimmers to help you just kind of like keep your head above the water, right? Because you're not in a place to jump and survive, or thrive, should I say. You're literally trying to survive because it's so painful, and what you're trying to do is be present with that feeling of sadness, because it's telling you something is telling you something. There's a message there. And what you want to do is be as present as possible with that, without zoning out or without completely going into these blinders. But what you're doing is you're holding on to these small little glimmers of coping mechanisms, reminders of the kisses of life, the little lights, the little reminders, and all of these good things, right? So I really hope that you have a resource personally that is accessible to you. It could be anything. I want you to name it right now yourself. What is there one thing inside of your home? Inside of your home is one of the most powerful because it's in your safe space. Is it a plant that is hanging that you just love the look of? You love the green on the plant. Is it a book that is asking to be read, right? There's a really beautiful book. It's by Charles Maxey. I hope I pronounced his name right. But it's called The Boy, the Horse, and the Fox. And I probably butchered that title, but you should check it out. It's everywhere. That for me is little glimmer. Reminds me of the goodness of things, right? It could be, like I said, the smell of coffee. It could be the smell of a dessert, right? Just these little things. But you're not holding on to them as in like coping mechanisms. You're just kind of using them to help you to regulate and then be present with the feeling that you're feeling, which is asking you to feel it right now. Right? So now I wanted to also let you know, if you want to take a step further in your healing, I am so excited to have teamed up with Heal Therapy Clinic. They offer different things to women who are dealing with relationship issues, interpersonal issues, intimate, platonic, whatever it is. Maybe it's a parent, maybe it's a spouse, whatever it is. Maybe you want to get to know a spouse. All of these things are offered within this clinic. To sign up and get information on that, please do get your free downloadable of my book, The Woke Writer. The topic is surrender, and it is all about surrender. So I hope that you have enjoyed this video. I hope you have found much benefit. Thank you so much for being here with me. Even though this day might not be an easy day for you, you are not alone. So many of us go through this. All of us go through this, and the fact that you are still present and you are still feeling it and you are trying to find a way through it is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Thank you for being here with me today. Have a blessed day, everyone. Peace.